regards to, is that county-owned land, county-owned building, just like the hospital here? Or is it leased by Great Plains for a facility in Bird City? That was gonna be my first question.
that's what we have to determine. I pulled the assessment on it, but I never looked at the name. In fact, I got it at home.
I don't know, that needs to be.
Right.
That's the first thing.
Right.
Yeah, well, first of all, if you want to even move forward.
I don't have a problem with them stepping forward, but not knowing the end dollar amount.
Yeah.
So, I was just telling him, I don't have a problem with you proceeding with this and looking at it, but we need a dollar amount.
Oh,
It's something-
we're a long ways from that.
Right,
Oh.
because I'd like to see what your Century Two is gonna do. It may all be covered,
Yeah.
so.
Well, I don't
think.
I don't even think we're gonna be involved in that.
Right.
Yeah.
I think first we gotta go to the hospital board and see what their plans are in the
Yeah,
future.
but when indeed, if they want it, and of course, they've indicated before, they have, and that's the reason I kept pursuing this thing.
Well, I think the first question is what is the status of the clinic in Bird City?
Yeah,
Is
well-
it county-owned or is it leased by Great Plains? That would be my first question, because if it's leased by Great Plains.
Like I say, I'm under the
then we
impression the
are-
only thing that we own is.
She can do it in 2 minutes. She did it for me the other day.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll find that out quick.
Because we don't pay any insurance or anything on any of the hospital.
And it's not covered under our insurance system?
Nope,
You pay insurance on the clinic over here?
no.
No? Somebody's got to own that land.
It may be the hospital, I don't know.
Well,
The hospital board, I mean, because all the renovations they've ever done, they've never come to the county. And
Well, if the hospital owns it, wouldn't that mean that we own it?
We're going to find out.
Well, it could be Great Plains, I don't know who owns it.
But anyway, it's whether you want a new clinic or not. That's the bottom line. In contrary to what.
Well, I know we need one over
Oh,
there.
well, everybody,
Building,
yeah.
yeah.
The providers obviously are. But I've not talked to anybody. You're the first ones.
I do, it's up to the hospital board is what they want to do.
I think it's neat. I think it's a really good idea. If it'll,
So are you just asking for approval? to
Well,
put
yeah, I
together
can't
a-
move forward unless you're in favor of it, obviously.
To put together a building commission, is that what you?
Yeah, well, and that's who I think, these are just you gotta realize this, now, right now, it's a committee of one, it's one person saying,
Right.
this is who I think needs to be involved. Back when we did it with Century Two, which they ended up not doing it, but it was back then, they wanted on the room sizes and
Right.
and this type of thing. We did a lot of little additional work on that prior to them saying, no, I guess not.
I think it's a good deal. I just, without knowing any.
We don't know the
and we're
dollar, at this
not.
point,
So
we're a long ways from even.
I think it's a good idea. Any change, any forward progression.
One of the things, Leslie, I'd like to have you check in order to keep it as right. What I'd like to have us check on is
Can't.
if we could buy the materials through the county and pay the contractor by the hour or by the job, and that way we save the sales tax on something this size. That's a pretty big item, if that's even possible.
Well, it boils down to who owns it.
Yeah,
That's
okay.
gonna determine
Well,
what avenue we
I'm not
go.
gonna build it for someone else. If it's not gonna be county-owned, I'm not gonna put a dollar in it.
Right.
So I guarantee whatever it is now, the new one would be county-owned. Because I don't care who owns it now. But we need to find out.
Okay.
But if it's not gonna be county-owned, then I'm saying it's a non-project,
Right.
because it's not fair to you. And in the future, people that's gonna be here.
I'm interested to see how that turns out. It'll be neat. So. Okay.
So do you wanna, well, he's getting that, or you wanna wait till he gets back?
What's that?
Eddie went to find out who owns it.
I don't know that it really matters right now.
It don't matter to me, because, what's it say?
Cheyenne County owns the hospital, but Cheyenne County Hospital owns the clinic.
That's what I thought.
Who's Cheyenne County Hospital?
It's Cheyenne County.
I
Right?
assume it's Cheyenne County Hospital Board? I don't know.
So would the hospital own the clinic over in Bird City then?
Yeah,
Okay, that'd be an
Because it's
assumption.
on none of our property lists.
Okay.
I mean, that doesn't really matter.
No,
If
no.
you're wanting this one to be,
I won't build it unless it's county. I mean, I'll drop it completely off of this thing. Because I don't wanna build it for another company.
Well, that didn't really answer the questions we thought.
no, I think we need to talk to the hospital and see how that's done.
I mean, just because that says Cheyenne County Hospital, that whoever filled that form out might have not been on the right page. I mean, I don't know. It's confusing.
I'm going to assume it's the board. The board that it's owned, the hospital board. But I don't know. I don't know.
Well, I'd like to see you move forward with it.
Yeah.
See what
I agree.
you can work out. And if it doesn't work for us, it just doesn't.
Well, I don't have a problem, we just need to be going to the hospital board now.
Yeah, and what I thought I'd leave here, and if indeed you give me the go-ahead, I'll
Because
contact
if the hospital
whoever the
board
hospital board is
built the
first.
clinic, They're gonna be building that one.
Yeah,
Okay, yeah, I think we're all in favor of it.
okay,
Thank you.
I'll keep you posted. We'll just go from here. I'm pretty excited about it.
You can take it back.
I was just curious what year that was built.
And I think it's
What
gonna.
exactly did you pull, Eddie?
What?
What do you got?
Appraisal? Thank you.
you, Ron.
I'm assuming it's okay. We'll see what we can do.
Okay.
Did you guys come up with any other ideas on funding or anything? But first of all, let's find out what the hospital's got.
Right.
At that time, they said they had money for construction, because
The hospital did.
they did, well, yeah, they did at that time, but that's no sign they got it now.
Right.
Okay.
Have a good day, Ron.
Yep.
Okay, thank you.
This is an actual deed.
It's what?
It's a deed
Yeah, you're gonna
from
go
Bird
on.
City to Cheyenne County Hospital. So the question is, in 1997, what was considered Cheyenne County Hospital? Because that's an actual conveyance of real estate.
The only thing, I mean, everywhere, the only thing that is in the county owns is county building is the actual hospital. So how they did that, I don't know.
I don't know anything about it, but I don't know how we're gonna budget money for something like that, county-wise. That's why we have a hospital board.
Yeah.
If they have money to do something like that, they do it. Whether it's
Yeah.
repairs or,
Yeah, I've talked to them before, and I
but
think,
anytime we're gonna start doing something like that, it's gotta come to the vote of the people if we're gonna go buying land and building a building,
right.
even though there's money donated.
Because, yeah.
He come to the wrong place at the wrong time. He shouldn't have been here, he should have been to the hospital board. He was wanting our approval, like we were gonna tell the hospital board it's fine, go ahead and build one. Rod's always got a lot of ideas, but he never has the money to do it.
Okay, we're ready for the National, Kansas National Natural Resource Commission.
Hello.
How are you?
Good.
Larry Townsend.
Nice to meet you.
Met these guys,
Hi.
what,
It's been a
3 or
while.
4 weeks ago? How are you?
Good, good.
How you, Scott? Counselor?
Sheriff, Commissioner. What hat are you wearing today?
My farmer hat.
Aw. Retirement hat?
Brett, just a little brief introduction of me. This is Tracy Barton. We're with KNRC. I spent the last 20 years of my life as sheriff. Retired the first year in for commissioner. Hadn't had enough abuse yet. So. Actually, I felt like I was done being sheriff, but I wanted to continue to be able to contribute what little I'd learned. So that's where I'm at. KNRC is a county, I wouldn't say owned, but county joined. It's not a national or Kansas corporation. It is owned by counties.
Okay.
And operated by counties.
Yes.
And led by counties.
When Jim Carlson came and met with us as commissioners, I knew this was something I wanted to be associated with. Were you here in 13? Okay, you remember the Lesser Prairie Chicken.
Yeah, I remember.
And KNRC was able to put that to rest. Well, it's back with us again. Not only that, there are many other issues that we as Kansans and need to address, are going to have to address.
Okay.
We're not just about the Lesser Prairie Chicken. There's other things when the prairie chicken thing is taken care of that need to be addressed too. How many counties do we have now?
I believe we're at 23.
Okay.
We're expecting,
And-
there's more expected as well.
Yeah, there's going to be some. Did you guys get to watch a webinar? Did any of you? Probably not.
I don't check my email enough, and it went on when I was working at work. So.
Exactly. Fine. But I'm going to let Tracy visit with you a little bit. I just, if we can speak with a multi-county voice,
It'll carry a lot more weight, yeah.
you betcha. And that's why I'm spending my time trying to get counties on board. And it's been pretty easy. Not only the National Heritage and Rails to Trails, which feds take property and I don't know if you guys, I can't remember. I don't think you've had any of that issue up here, but you get east of here, it's a big deal. And many counties have already passed resolutions, but we still need the organization and the cooperation of many counties. Tracy, go ahead.
So I am the senior administrator with KNRC, and just a short version of who we are, kind of our mission statement. I'll just read you our mission statement. We are an association of counties who maintain collective and participatory involvement in administrative government on behalf of its citizenry. The coalition serves as a conduit between local, state, and federal governments to promote balanced, necessary, and effective administrative policymaking through the mechanism of government-to-government coordination. Our mission is to monitor, analyze, and understand, communicate, and participate in those initiatives that materially affect the natural or human systems governed by individual member counties. So in short, we're here to work with the local government on conservation issues to protect landholders' rights, as well as to protect the tax base of our counties. So the issues that we've really, that we've taken an active role in either monitoring or participating in, of course, is the Lesser Prairie Chicken. And as Larry said, in 2013, the Lesser Prairie Chicken, they wanted to list it as endangered, and it covered 5 states. And the way that the approach that KNRC uses is working directly with the federal government. We have a positive relationship with the Fish and Wildlife Service and other agencies that are participating in this listing. However, we were able to get that listing vacated, which is huge. In last year, some environmental groups brought the the lesser prairie chicken back as an issue again. So we're in the process of working. Excuse me, I'm a little froggy this morning. We're in the process of working with the same process to repeat what we did, hopefully in 2013. And having a block of counties is really important, just because it gives us a voice. And KNRC is not only working with lesser prairie chicken, but we're also monitoring any issue that would come out of the federal government that would put a footprint over the rights of private citizens in their land in western Kansas. And so
Which is
that's
the
really
question.
what the value.
With the lesser prairie chicken, why did the landowners want to get involved?
Because if we get listed, there are ramifications as to how the landholders can access their own property. If you have anybody who's doing CRP, I have some neighbors who are doing it, they're having to implement all kinds of measures to protect the lesser prairie chicken, including for gas and wind. They're restricted from even going on the property until like 9:30 in the morning. I mean, there is some very tight restraints that are...
And during breeding season and different things,
Yes.
and it can be so easily tied to our farmers through FSA.
But I guess what I'm trying to get at is the impetus of your group is to protect the landowner's right and their access to the property. Because of these federal mandates, they could be restricted and penalized if they violate those federal restrictions.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
Absolutely. Yeah, we're simply common sense.
And some other thing, it looks like you have a national or a Western National Historic Trail that runs through your county. Are you aware of that?
The National Trails?
A historic trail, the Great Western
Texas
Trail.
Trail.
Cattle Drive Trail. And
Yeah.
There's a sign right up in the house.
So that's another thing that we've been monitoring. That legislation came out of Jerry Moran and Senator Marshall's office. And we worked with them to make sure that there were no tax implications. Right now, KNRC is taking a neutral stance on it, but it's something we're monitoring just to make sure that counties are aware of how it's going to affect the landholders' rights. And then the other thing that we've also been monitoring is the National Heritage Area. I know it doesn't affect you over here. It's kind of close, though. The counties to the east of here have been interested in the help that we have to offer, and how several of them have become members.
And several of them sign up before we leave. I mean, it's
They're very
real and
concerned.
live in their area.
Yeah.
It's-
Are you familiar with the National Heritage Area and kind of what the ramifications of that are?
I'm not.
So it covers 26 counties in northern Kansas, and then close to the same number in Nebraska. And what they're doing is they've designated it as land that they're saying is going to bring tourism and travel to their counties. However, there are some land use items that are written in a way that would restrict how landholders are able to use their land, and so it's really taking over their property rights. And so there's been a lot of groups that have gone out and done information meetings. I actually attended one in Waukene. I live in Hodgman County, so I'm a little ways away from here. But it was really great information about really what, when someone like that comes in, they want to tell you what how they like to see the program work, but they don't always tell you how it's going to affect your tax base. They don't tell you how it's going to affect how property holders are going to be affected directly. And so that's kind of what those information meetings were doing.
So how are they restricted?
How are they restricted? From the information meeting, they said that the land use would be designated, and they would not be able to, in some cases, farm their ground, but they would still have to pay taxes on it, but they had no control over how that ground was used. That was one implication that was shared at that meeting. And I am still, honestly, I'm fairly new to KNRC, and so I'm still learning about that. And I have a printout for the Pioneers National Heritage Area here with more information. Because of all the because of all the information meetings that were done, they actually lost 5 of the board members over the summer and took a break, and they're coming back now, but they're still planning to move forward in those counties. So, and I know Decatur County, I think, is the closest county here that was affected, so just 2 counties away, I think. So what questions do you have
So
for us?
you're
Yes.
asking us to say we're in favor of what you're doing here, is that what you're saying?
We are asking you to become members. The membership fee is $5,000 for the year 2022. If you join now, you would get the remainder of 2021 as members. And what we will do is keep you updated on a quarterly basis. We're getting ready to have a policy holders meeting down in Dodge City, where we will provide more education and more information so that you can keep your landholders in your counties aware of the issues as well.
Well, we can't give any money now, right, whether until our budget comes around?
If it's 2022 dues, it should probably, what do you think?
Well,
I mean, it's not budgeted, but.
no, it's not budgeted, but if it is something that the commissioners are interested in, they can look at other resources in the
Right.
budget.
It is 3,500 now, is that what it is? 'Cause
So-
it's been reduced?
That was reduced for the 2021 dues.
Oh, okay, and you're talking
Because-
2022, okay.
And something you need to understand, there aren't 10 secretaries, there's 2 part-time.
Right.
I mean, this money directly goes to the battle, and it-
Being part of this organization will help us protect landowners, is what you guys are after. If somebody comes in and wants to say, hey, this is a greater prairie chicken zone, the person that owns land cannot go on their ground except in certain times, correct?
that is the possibilities of when an animal or a bird is put on threatened or endangered, then, yeah.
So basically, this is going to protect any landowners in Cheyenne County, Kansas, and then we have a voice through you guys if we want to say, hey, this isn't right, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. I just want to make sure I understand it correctly.
So it's going to protect the federal mandate from coming in.
Right.
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
Because I know we did this back when I was a commissioner
Yeah.
the first time.
And much of the work is done on the prairie chicken right now. It's not finished, but much of it is already done.
Okay. Our deal is we don't have a lot of transparency with the funds that we have available right now because of some things that have happened in the county. So I don't.
I think if you want to go ahead and do it, you can take it out of general.
Okay.
It'd be 20,
22.
2022.
Okay. What are your thoughts?
Dues.
I don't know, I've got a negative attitude today. Sorry.
That's okay.
Can I get you a cup of coffee?
What bothers me, and the thing is, my kids own land. But you're basically a lobbyist group,
We're actually not.
what you are. I'm sorry, you are, you're lobbyists to fight legislation.
So
And there's a lot of people in Cheyenne County pay taxes. I don't know if they want to be, are they for the prairie chicken? Are they for the rails to trails? There's my problem. That if people want to join your organization as an individual and pay dues, I can understand that.
So-
Whether you belong to Farm Bureau and they go lobby, Farm Bureau is a big lobbyist.
So we're not lobbyists.
What do you do then?
We work through the federal government, so through the administrative process. And we're not against the prairie chicken, but we are monitoring the processes that the federal government is using to impose restrictions on our landholders. So what we do is we use their rules that they've already put into place to put a check on their government. So if they have rules in place that say, you have to follow these things in order for this to happen, we basically say, okay, you're going to have to follow your own rules. And so we work through that process. We are not a lobbyist
Do
group.
you see where I'm coming from though?
Sure,
That
but we don't.
there
we
might
don't-
be people that don't want to pay, to use their tax dollars for this.
Here's how I look at it as a county commissioner of Wallace County. I voted yes for it because I'm protecting my constituents in Wallace County. And it's the individual sign-up thing, that's not what we're here for. We need county's participation,
Yep.
and we need to put a block together of equal-minded people that understand.
And there's nothing that, if your county joins us, there's nothing that would prevent a landholder from signing up for a federal program that would allow them to come on their property to do that. That would be totally on their own.
For myself, I don't really know that much about it, and I'd kind of like to talk to some people about it, because I'm not sure, like Roger says, I'm not sure if,
Table your decision for the next meeting.
I'm gonna have a lot of stuff on the next meeting then.
Would you like me to get more information for you?
I think I would appreciate more, because
What,
it's not.
what types of questions would you like me to get answered for you?
Let me see here. I'm not sure yet, because I haven't,
Okay,
just looking down at it now.
Is Rollins County in? Did we get,
we haven't met with them yet.
we gotta meet with them yet. Sherman County, Wallace, Thomas,
Sheridan,
Sheridan,
Maine, Decatur's considering,
Yeah.
Rooks County joined.
there's a pretty good block around here. Here would be my suggestion, if you have any questions while you're waiting on some information from Tracy, talk to some of these counties that understand it, I guess, would be the, but certainly, look over the stuff from what Tracy can give you. This isn't a radical organization, if that's what you're thinking.
Oh,
This-
we know that. I know that.
It,
We just have so many things on our plate right now.
oh yeah, I
Needing money.
understand it.
If you were listening, they wanted.
I felt like we
to
were
build a
waiting in
clinic,
line, yeah.
I
We need a
understand.
new motor grader. We had one show up today and we need another one.
Yep.
I do understand.
Well, listen, we won't take any more of your time. We certainly ask you guys to consider it, and feel free to contact us or some of the other counties around you that are in, and we'd love to have you.
And if you go to our website, knrc.org, it's on the top of your paper. There's a lot of information available there,
Okay.
including a video that kind of describes more about who we are.
Maybe I should do that.
Okay.
Sorry,
Thank you.
sorry,
Thank
we're
you.
more.
No problem.
All right.
Well, but
No problem.
Nice
Thank you for your time. I appreciate it.
I need to use the bathroom.
See y'all.
See you, drive safe.
Scott, we're gonna take 5 minutes to go to the restroom.
Be right back, sorry, we're running behind.
She's happy, Phil.
Get him a Snickers bar.
Fill up my